Hello and welcome back to Forza Horizon 4. We are continuing our build series. This is the last game before we get to Horizon 5. And we're starting off not on Hot Wheels, we'll get there in 2 more episodes. No, we're actually technically on the mainland, but I might have kind of deleted the footage on accident for the build. So, it's already built, and we're on the wrong island, but it's fine. This is our car, it's a Noble M600. Now, I know you're thinking, the build class limit is S1900, and the Noble, for you who know, starts off at S1900, but you can see it's all-wheel drive, it meets all of the requirements. How is that possible? Well, you can already see a few things. One, you can see that the rims, albeit hideous, are big and heavy and lower the PI. You can also see there's a rear wing, because that also lowers the PI. And you can see there's no front aero, because that skyrockets it. And you can also see that, yes, we have the mandatory rally tires, that drops it again. So all of this drops the PI, including bigger tires. I don't understand it. Maybe because it adds weight? I don't know. That adds PI, but it was not all PI doom and gloom, okay? We got some rally springs. We actually had some bits and pieces, not many, because, you know, it helps us already a high-performance car. It's one of the best stock supercars in the game in terms of top of PI. And I was able to actually get an engine part. I don't remember which one it is, but you can see it starts off at 650 horsepower to 655. And the power-weight ratio is actually not too bad. So, we're still under 3,000 pounds. We still got 655 horsepower. And at the end of the day, it's a Noble M600, one of the best handling stock cars in this game. It's a brilliant machine. So, either my logic going into it was either it's going to be terrible because it's at the top of the class limit and you really had to struggle to get it down to the limit, or it's going to be very OP. This is what happened. Okay, we are here a little bit far ahead, actually, on our rally stage. We have 3 runs through the stage to try and set the fastest time possible. Yeah, the AIs have a head start because, again, no rivals mode since these are custom stages from this point on. Thank you, Horizon creator. And we're going to see how this does. I think the closest comparison is the Ascari, the KZ1R. That's in 5th place. That did a 144.6. So that's actually not too bad. I'm all over the road, though. You need to avoid that, and I didn't do. I'm not sure if this is going to beat the winner, which was the Mazda RX-7 Spirit R, which did 143.1, if I recall. It wasn't the 143. Ooh, a little bit of understeer there. I was hoping not to slide this vehicle around. This vehicle does not really like to go sideways, but I think on that hairpin, I don't really have much of a choice. Just to help get that front end turned a little bit. It's not very quick. It's not bad in the straight line, but I'm missing my braking zone. I'm trying to see how much I can push under brakes, and the answer is not that hard. Now, the racing line is a bit wonky on this. I end up taking this sort of weird chicane route just to make it a little bit more technical, even though I forgot to put a checkpoint. So I definitely need a little bit of handbrake assistance there as well. Not anything crazy, just to help, again, get that front end turn, because we took a very balanced, very good-to-drive car. We made it all-wheel drive, and slightly... How did I get that checkpoint? I thought for sure that I missed that. But, I see the game was being kind today. Who knew? Okay, don't hit those. That's bad. And the gearbox, I will say, the gearbox, I'm not liking it right now. I almost feel like I should have put a gearbox in instead of power upgrades, if the gearbox is lacking considerably. However, our time is not great. a 146, which, to be fair, is a terrible run. So that would put it in top 10, which, again, for the run that we had, it's actually quite good. It's just that, there's a lot of room for improvement. It was a very sloppy run. I can easily shave a second off without too much problem. There were a lot of missed braking points. There was a lot of running wide. I didn't miss checkpoints just because I didn't crash. That's another good point. I just made a lot of very small mistakes. It just sort of cascaded into an all-around awful run, and if I just keep it neat and tight, which is what this vehicle likes to do, I think we'll be set. We're going to leave it 40 seconds this time, because I don't really need to wait that long. So let's just try and be as smooth as possible. This is what this vehicle wants. It's a grippy car. It's got lots of grip. In some cases, it might have too much grip based on the understeer. But we're going to just try and slither it through here. Very good. Use the wall. You can't actually use the walls for benefit. I know I said you don't want to hit the walls, but you can use them sneakily. Oh. I did not account for them missing the checkpoint like a bunch of morons. Okay, this could be bad. Yeah, this isn't great. You pillets. I mean, it's a bit of a better run. It's a much better run, but yeah, this is interesting. We're having a race in the middle of our rally stage. I'm gonna hit by the focus. Thank you. That was a bit scary. And we actually managed to keep the racing line, so no time was really lost. There we go. That's a better line through there. So I'll keep this run because yeah, no time was lost despite, you know, getting stuck in the middle of a pack of cars. There we go. You see, it can't figure out what gear it wants to be in. It can't figure out what gear it wants. No. Okay, we're good. We're a little bit wide there. That corner is decidedly tricky. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. There we go. Now just a little bit of a break before there so I don't run wide. There we go. That was a good run. And then we just have the run to the line, and it is... Oh! Yeah, that's a lot better. We shaved off more than a second. We shaved off basically 2. Actually, yeah, 2.5. There's still room for improvement, primarily not getting caught up in traffic, and that might distract you a little bit, even though I didn't technically lose too much speed. That is a much better run. This might genuinely stand a chance of winning. There's something that, like I said, it was a 50-50 chance. Either it would be unbeatable or it would be perfectly slow. And I think it's leaning more towards the unbeatable side, but I've got to get a good, honest-to-God run. I should emphasize that with one run to go, we are already the 3rd fastest car to ever go up this course. I'm not sure that it's going to be unbeatable, as I sort of hinted at with my 50-50, but it is seriously impressive. It does not have the sheer acceleration out of the corners, it doesn't have the power weight ratio for that, it doesn't have the gearbox for that, but what it does have is the fantastic chassis design from Noble, and that is pretty darn good in the handling department. Even without front aero, it is incredibly grippy. Now, it does mean it suffers on the understeer front. It gets a little bit too much. That does not have the front tires, does not have the front aero. It is all-wheel drive. It is heavier, so it makes sense why it would get understeer, but we're going to give it one more shot to shave off 0.6 of a second, just under that. So that's all we need to do, shave off 0.6 of a second. That's a lot, make no mistake, that is a bit, but I don't think it's impossible completely with this car. If we just get everything right, we just don't use that wall, yes, because that wall can help you slow down without actually hitting the brakes. It does sometimes pitch your car a little bit, but you can manage that. Now chuck it in. a little bit of understeer or oversteer to correct the understeer from that section. And then again, a little bit of a lift before getting on that power. That was a brilliant run down the fastest part of the track. Okay, I would say that's a bit of a corner cut, but the wall sort of acts as a anti-corner cut in terms of getting any advantage, so I won't do anything about that. Oh, the understeer, and then just... Again, I got that with my, I think, wing mirror. And a little bit of understeer there. I don't think this run here is as smooth on the tarmac section anyway. Yeah, no, I'm trying to... I mean, it's the last run, you gotta go for it. You gotta, you know, give it all she's got. And I feel like I'm giving a little bit too much. And then got the brakes. And I braked a little. Yeah, I don't think this runs any faster, which is disappointing. But I think it's just a little bit too sloppy, you know? I think it's just a bit too... all over the place. We'll see how it goes, though. We're running down the line, and yeah, no, it's not going to be any faster. Well, I guess it was, I mean, it was 143. Oh, so it was a tenth of a second. It was a tenth of a second faster. It's not enough. Yeah, I totally bottled it on the, on the tarmac. The opening was very good, and the ending was pretty darn good, but that tarmac, I tried to push it a little bit too hard, and the understeer got the best of me. Still, a 143.6 will put it into third place. It is behind the Gymkhana 10 Fiesta and the Mazda RX-7, but it's ahead of the KTM Crossbow and its main rival, the Ascari. That's pretty darn good, considering it's at the very tippy top of the class. It had literally 0 PI to play with. That's pretty impressive. I have nothing but praise for that car, at least in terms of how it performed on the grid relative to its PI. It's too understeery, and it does not have the gearbox. If I could build this car again, I would build it with the same horsepower, but with a better gearbox, and maybe some better tires so I get that on there. Either way, it's still pretty darn good to drive if you can smooth it out, but getting it smooth is a very precise niche, and I did not quite get it on that last run. But there you go, and that will be it for this episode of Forza Horizon 4, and I'll see you on Fortune Island.